against two candidates that have a lot of money. And that was, what kind of, do you feel any, I don't know, do you think you're going to make it? I guess that's the bottom line. You know, I like what you said.
Well, I didn't tell you that in order to leave tonight, you each have to give $2,300 to my campaign.
No, you can't say that. I promised that we wouldn't say that.
No, let me answer in a serious way. I see every day the distorting influence that money plays in politics, and it should be of enormous concern to all of us who actually believe in democracy. And so I will be an incredibly strong advocate for publicly financed elections. And I think even in the aftermath of the people frustrated over the caucuses and want to move into a primary, I'd be open to that if we have publicly financed elections. Because otherwise, you pretty much... Minnesota has a system that makes it possible for a candidate like Jack Nelson-Pallmeyer to win. Because you get to decide who's electable. Now, in terms of the money issue itself, we've been doing very well raising money. You know, I outraised Mike Cerisi the last quarter, if you take away the $500,000 that he gave his own campaign. I raised about 2/3 of what Al Franken did from Minnesotans. And I did it without $20,000 a year, a month fundraisers and telemarketers from California calling. So we're if you're interested in giving, we need money to run an effective grassroots campaign. But that's all we need. We need money to run an effective grassroots campaign. And so far that money is coming in. Now every candidate is on record as supporting the endorsement. I hope we can believe them. I mean it when I say it. And I think it was Mike Cerisi at the first debate who said, this campaign shouldn't be about, for the endorsement, shouldn't be about money. He said, I think this was a little jab at Al. If you have to spend $3 million seeking the DFL endorsement, there's something wrong with your campaign. And he also said that we all know whoever gets the DFL endorsement is going to have plenty of money to run against Norm Coleman, because this is going to be one of the most important Senate races in the country. So what I'm counting on is that Minnesotans will see that in this state we have a record of determining who's electable. And it doesn't meet a lot of people's criteria. Eugene McCarthy, Paul Wellstone, Jesse Ventura, different example, but we get to decide who's electable. And so as long as I keep money coming in the door at the rate I am, I can run an effective campaign, and I think I'm going to win the DFL party endorsement. From then on, then that money question of how we compete with Norm, but money's going to flock to the state. And I can also guarantee you another thing. We were talking earlier. You know, my campaign really is being done in stages. And the stages are going incredibly well. In fact, they're going way better than I could have ever anticipated. But this stage right now is to appeal to delegates and to really do outreach to delegates, because it's delegates who get to decide who the DFL party endorsed candidate is going to be. But when Jack Nelson-Pallmeyer gets the DFL endorsement, I'm going to have no problem with name recognition. Everyone in the country is going to say, what the hell is going on in Minnesota? Who is this guy? Where did he come from? Why is he generating all this support? So I actually feel that money is an enormous obstacle on the one hand, but with sufficient resources, and I'm getting them, we can out-organize, and more importantly, as importantly, we can out-inspire people. That's what's happening all over this state, is wherever my message gets out, we're winning. And you can help make that happen, because you get to decide how this process plays out. Just one example of that, and I told a couple of you about this earlier. The one place where I have gotten exposure at the same level of the media is Minnesota Public Radio. They've done an excellent job. They've had us on for a couple hours by ourselves. They had us on together. You go take their poll, which is a way of Minnesotans identifying the candidate that most represents their views. I'm just creaming the other candidates. I think I'm at 42 or 43%. The next closest one is Al Franken with 20, and Mike Cerisi with 19, and Norm Coleman with 15. So, problems, absolutely. Is money a huge issue in a negative way? I think it is. I think it plays a very distorting role in our politics. But in Minnesota, we get to decide. And if people keep giving money to my campaign and keep organizing, we're going to win the DFL party endorsement.